Hello. I apologize. I missed a couple weeks here. I've been kind of on vacation and going through some tough times. So um, I'm gonna try to do a Sunday video today. And what I'd like to talk about today is holidays. Um, I've had a lot of struggles with holidays myself over the years. Um, I grew up with a mother that was very much about making holidays very important. And when I say important, like you had to maintain a certain I guess presentableness to strangers and the outside world, um just to maintain some kind of um I guess look to people. I don't know how to describe the details very well. um I definitely remember a lot of, like, if there was ever a problem, you got to pretend like nothing else is happening. Nothing else happened outside of the holiday. Nothing else exists. You just treat treat every holiday like it's a new start, I guess, for the person in your life. And it was different per holiday, but there was just a lot of, like, sense of over happiness. I don't know how to explain it. For those of you that have narcissistic parents, you probably understand. The holidays were just really difficult to go through, but I'm going to try to focus more on how churches view holidays. And the reason I kind of talk about my past a little bit is because um, a lot of, I hate to use the word narcissist because it's kind of a negative, but a lot of people from the previous generation, um, who may be called narcissists, they they really like holidays, and they'll twist holidays into church where it may be a little bit out of balance. So um, I'll just say a lot of a lot of people from the boomer generation tend to like holidays and make a big deal out of it, and like I said, it becomes a little bit unbalanced in church. So what I've seen in the churches that I've been in is they kind of tend to take holidays to an extreme, maybe because there's an influence of um, the older generation trying to drive some of those things. But I'll try to give an example. Like, the previous church I was in, they had this thing every Christmas where they would give every member the gift. They would give every member a gift, like a Christmas present, and and there weren't very many members. I mean, there was only a few people, so I don't want to make it sound like it was a big church, but it definitely felt awkward and inappropriate. And the reason I say that is just because I guess what I've learned is, like, holidays are just kind of, like I was saying, just too exaggerated outside of church and in church. I feel like churches need to be more separate from holidays. And I know a lot of people will say, keep Christ in Christmas, and I do think that's a good thing. Um, but there tends to be, like, a little bit of blurring the lines of, like, well, churches may accept Santa Claus, or today's Easter. So you'll see a lot of people, talking about the Easter bunny, um and how, like, they'll have Easter egg hunts. Like, that's just something that I feel like is not appropriate for a church to do. Now, don't get me wrong, I grew up in a church that had Easter egg hunts, and as a child, I really enjoyed it. I didn't know any better. But as I get older, I kind of see that it's just not really the best example. It could be confusing. I remember as a child just kind of not really understanding where a holiday would end and Jesus began, if that makes sense. The spiritual side would begin. I think there was a lot of, like, um, encouraging, like I said, Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, the last church I was in, they encouraged every holiday quite a bit. And I guess technically not every holiday. There wasn't St. Patrick's Day, some of the smaller ones, but a lot of the ones like Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, all these things were said in the messages, um, and it just, eh, I mean, just for me, it just really didn't feel that appropriate. Um, Now I think it's fine to say a little something, like Happy Easter, everybody, Merry Christmas, but trying to make the whole message about the holiday or getting too involved in the holiday like Christmas presents and Easter egg hunts just feels like a little too much to me. Now I don't want to seem like an expert and I don't know necessarily what God wants. Sometimes I think it's different per person, per church. He tries to just meet us where we're at, but um, all I could say is like some of these things tend to drive me away from church services and churches. And like to be honest, I would be in these churches and it literally felt like a holiday spirit would come and take over the church, to the point where I had to pray before I even went into the church because it was just so out of control. And I mean, I don't think that anybody had any ill will, but you'd come in and there'd just be, Happy Easter or Christmas, whatever. And it would have to be, it felt like it had to be a whole event, the whole service is about Easter um, and everybody wants to go out to eat and it just has to be a big thing. And I don't think that that's necessarily, in balance with what God wants. But it's like I said, it's debatable, I guess, about what God wants. There's different things in the Bible that people could probably cite that say, it looks like, oh, um, God really celebrates holidays. Well, it's just maybe different for this time period what is actually needed. But um, I was just thinking about how I have been reading a devotional and I guess for about a week it's been mentioned every day, something about Jesus dying on the cross and buried and coming back to life. And it just there's just so much of it starts to drive you away. It starts to feel like you just don't want to um you don't want to even read the devotional anymore. And the same thing with the church when you hear these holiday messages every year. And I know not everybody goes every Sunday of every year, but I did. And I mean it got old, every Christmas you got to hear the Christmas story. I mean, it was just a lot to deal with every year. And that's why I feel like, it just needs to scale back some. We don't really want to drive people away from the church. And I know there are lots of people that love it and it brings people together, but a lot of people it drives away. So I just feel like there needs to be a better balance to it. But I guess I'm just kind of venting about it. I don't know what it's supposed to be. All I could say is like what drives me the wrong way. And you know, it doesn't always drive people the way it drive people away the way it drives me, but I definitely want to take that into just consideration because um I think God wants more people to be in the church than not. So anyway, I know you can't please anybody. I mean, you can't please everybody, but it's good to talk to people to find out where they stand on this kind of stuff. And I think it's important to just keep open communication. If somebody's not happy about it, it's good to talk to them about it. But anyway, I guess I'll just kind of try to leave it there, and I thank you for watching.